Hello and welcome to the Libya Recap. During the Libyan Arab Spring, rebels took to the streets, leaders attacked their own people, and justice was won. In January 2010, Libya bought $1.8 billion worth of weapons from Russia. Most of the weapons were guns, but they were also planes and tanks. This showed that Gaddafi, the Libyan leader, was preparing for war.
In June 2010, the Libyan government ordered the United Nations to leave Libya. This showed that Gaddafi could feel the tension rising in Libya and didn't want the UN to get involved because he might have been overthrown.
In February 2011, the Libyan government arrested a human rights campaigner. This made many people very angry. The rebels wanted Gaddafi to step down, but he never did. This was the breaking point for the rebels.
2011. These riots were the beginning of the Arab Spring in the Middle East. The rebels reached Tripoli, Libya's capital, on February 25th and led to a government crackdown on the rebels by Gaddafi's forces. In turn, this led to the United States government suggesting that Gaddafi step down because of his violent response to the protesters and other members of the international community, like Britain, providing aid to the rebels.
On March 8th of 2011, Gaddafi's forces attacked Zawai, a Libyan city. They did this because of the previous uprisings in Libya. This led to much international discussion about possible military responses to the Libyan crisis. One solution was a no-fly zone over parts of Libya. However, Gaddafi responded by saying that a no-fly zone would be met with armed resistance from his forces. He also said that it would be taken as evidence that Western forces were trying to steal his country's oil.
On March 12th of 2011, Gaddafi's forces attacked the rebel groups operating inside Libya. Many people were killed in this attack. This caused Libya's revolutionary leadership to beg the West to assassinate Gaddafi and attack his forces in order to protect the rebels. It showed that the government was not opposed to killing its own people if it became necessary to their cause.
On March 18, 2011, the UN decided to take all necessary measures to protect Libyan civilians under the threat of attack. This was a big step for the rebels, because it showed them that the international community was on their side and would go against Gaddafi if needed. It also showed that the civilians, in such great danger from their own leader, that they needed military assistance to stay alive.
On March 19, 2011, Western planes attacked Gaddafi's military base in Operation Odyssey Dawn. This was the biggest assault on an Arab regime since the invasion of Iraq in 2003. This caused Gaddafi to stop his attacks on the rebels and allowed them to move further towards Gaddafi's home city in hopes of finally getting to the leader himself.
On March 24, 2011, French fighter jets destroyed a Libyan plane that flew over Misrata. This was the first enforcement of the no-fly zone that the international community had placed on Libya. This struck Tripoli particularly hard, but they had reported that about 100 civilians died in these strikes. This showed Libyans, and Gaddafi's forces in particular, the international community was very against the Gaddafi regime and was willing to protect the Libyan civilians at any costs. In May 2011, a civil war erupted in Libya between Gaddafi's forces and the rebels.
Finally, in October 2011, Gaddafi's regime was overthrown by the Libyan rebels with NATO's assistance. The civil war ended and Gaddafi was captured and killed by the rebels. Today, Libya is experimenting with democracy. They are attempting to retain it, however, not all the citizens of Libya are completely compliant.
In the future, it is likely that Libya will fall back into chaos because of all the trouble they have had with maintaining a stable government before.